All right, just got out of watching the Avengers Infinity Wars and wanted to give you a quick review without any spoilers to see if this movie held up to the hype and let you know a little bit more about what you can expect if you're going to go watch it this weekend. Just to start off the movie, it's been released out there that the movie kind of starts and gets going right from the get-go, and that was not a lie. It actually just gets started immediately. There's no waiting for it. I mean, 18 movies to kind of lead up to this particular moment, and so it really does not hold back from the beginning. The characters get weaved into the movie. It seems pretty organic in terms of the interactions. I didn't feel that they were really forced. They kind of pieced everybody together appropriately. It didn't seem strange or awkward. Everybody had a reason for being there. It kind of gets explained as to which characters are where, and kind of how they fit in the universe, and what's been going on with them leading up to that particular point. And so the good thing about it is that from each of the characters in each of their movies, you kind of get a sense of their own uniqueness, kind of all brought in together into the film. You get the humor of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the humor of Thor's persona, a character that's kind of weaved into the Thor Ragnarok. You get kind of everything tied together. You get questions answered, but then you leave having more questions throughout the process, because that's the Marvel Universe. Think you figure something out, and then something completely changes and happens, and just that's kind of been their formula that's been working. And this is actually no different from the previous versions, previous movies. The action sequences, fighting scenes, some of them could be a little bit busy because of the magnitude of the characters, and just because there are a lot more villains and characters to kind of go around. So it does get a little busy in terms of the fighting scenes, and so it's magnitude times 10, times 20 from that of Civil War. So if you thought Civil War was busy in a sense of just so many characters fighting and combating each other, this is kind of gonna have the same impact, if not a little bit more. Not to say that it was bad, it was just very busy, and so just cutting scene to scene in every of the fight sequences can be a little exhausting, which is actually pretty good for the movie, because you're just kind of going up and down and up and down, trying to figure everything out, and how things are playing out for each character, where things are going to go, the importance and significance of every scene, especially if you've been analyzing each individual film, trying to look out for Easter eggs or things that could be related to something else down the road. And so I think it just has maybe busy, but there are just a lot of things to kind of keep your mind going throughout the movie to figure certain things out, which is good. Especially if you're coming into this movie excited, amped up, looking for something that's fantastic, that leads up to what we've been hoping for 10 years. It can be a good thing. For those that aren't as familiar with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the comics, it can be a little challenging to kind of look at every character and all the sequences, and the kind of keep everything all together. I mean, it's hard for people that have watched all the movies to still keep it together, so imagine those that haven't watched all of them. But if you're looking to kind of prepare yourself for Infinity Wars and you're kind of a noob at the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I would say to catch yourself up on Guardians of the Galaxy. Doctor Strange is a good one to get caught up on. Obviously Iron Man, and I know you don't have all the time, but I would say those three, and probably throw in Black Panther. But if you watch those films, those movies, it should give you a good general sense of kind of where everything has led to from those 3 to 4 movies. The thing about Thanos that I really like is that, yes, he's a badass. Everybody knows this. Thanos is one of the most powerful beings in the galaxy, and if he gets all the stones, he practically becomes invincible to a certain point. And the thing with Thanos is that he's not just a villain for villain's sake. I think that the story that they tell with Thanos and some of the conflict within gives him a lot of depth in this particular universe. And I know in the comics he's had that, struggles and things of that nature. But I think they really bring that out with the character, and I think that in terms of a storytelling and kind of figuring out what's important to Thanos, why is he the way that he is, why is he seeking to destroy half the universe and bring balance. You get a good sense of it, and in some parts of it you kind of feel for him. You're like, okay, that makes sense, in a weird sadistic type of manner, but the depth of Thanos' character is a really good piece into the story of leading up to this point, and why is Thanos kind of on his path, and that path is now crossing with the Avengers. And so it is just the way that the characters are interconnected, and the stories behind Nebula and Gamora, with Thanos, and the way that where Drax's family was killed. Just a lot of pieces from those characters as to why they've gotten to this point, told beautifully, in my opinion. And so I think this is a good movie, for you to go out and watch. Obviously you're going to watch it regardless if I say or great, but I think you're going to enjoy those aspects of the film and the movie, the fight sequences, the storytelling, Thanos' development, and the interactions between the different characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and some upgrades, and just all of these things combined, plus the shock moments, the oohs, the ahs, the things that really make the Marvel Cinematic Universe what it is all these reasons as to why you would go out there and you would go watch it. So that's just the general sense. No spoilers, no real giveaways there, at least hopefully, for you guys. And I suggest go out there, watch it. You're probably going to have to watch it 2 or 3 times. We kind of watched it at a local cinema, but we're going to go do the Dolby Cinema on Sunday. May watch it again on Saturday just to have a better sense of the movie and do a much more thorough review that would contain a little bit of spoilers, just to see how this sets up for the future films that are coming out, and any future characters that have movies, and how they could possibly interconnect with the current scape of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so keep an eye out, subscribe to the page, click a like if you like this video, and I look forward to giving you more reviews.